Checked. Stop recording.
Hello everyone, my name is Shelby Craig and welcome back to today's episode of Bringing Light to Blindness. In today's episode, I'm going to take things a bit further than I took them last week, and I am going to be talking to you guys about accessing materials that are printed because, let's face it, there will be times when we as blind people will not be able to use screen readers to read everything. For example, if you were to receive a document in the mail, like a letter or a statement from your bank or something like that, you won't always be able to have a screen reader. You can, of course, ask people who are sighted to read these types of things to you, but you really don't want that to be your first resort because a lot of the information that you get as printed documents might be very sensitive, or it might just be information that you don't really want to trust anyone with, even if it's with your closest friends. You know, there are just some things that you really shouldn't have to ask people to read simply because the information therein is very sensitive and pertinent only to you. So we're going to be talking about ways that you can access the information when screen readers won't be able to help. A lot of times, it's just a matter of converting things into the right format that you can use to read it. For example, if you are out at a bank and you have to know how to count money and deal with money, you would have to use a special device in order to read it. They do have devices that you can use to actually braille the currency, but the thing of it is the dots tend to fade after a while, and plus it might get wrinkled up in your purse or wallet or whatever you use to carry money. So it might not always be the most efficient thing to have. But there is a device that you can get that is actually a money reader, and I will actually be doing an entire episode on financial stuff. There is a device that you can actually take a dollar bill, if you don't know what it is, slide it into a slot on the device, and it will read what it is. And the cool thing about that machine is you can have different ways of accessing the information, like you can have it read in tones or beeps, where a certain beeping or tone configuration means that the dollar bill is it could be a certain amount of currency depending on what the beeps are. So, very interesting way of doing things. I actually like that because that means that you won't have others around who can actually hear it reading out to you. So I tend to like that a bit better. Oh, 1 second, guys, I'm so sorry. 1 second. Okay, I apologize for the short break, everyone. I'm back. You know how it goes when life gets busy sometimes. Anyhow, today we're focusing on how to read printed materials. So it really just depends on the nature of what it is you're trying to read. So going back to our example of reading currency, you could either use a brailled, a bill brailer. I'm sorry, I'm not really sure what the technical term for that is, but it's a little device where you can put dots on currency to help you identify them. Or you could use a money reader, like the one that I have. And I'm not going to show it off today because, again, I'm actually going to be doing a more in-depth episode of how to handle finances. So that will be on the docket for an episode that we're going to do. But there are other ways that you can access printed materials. I mean, you can certainly ask for cited help, but that shouldn't be your first resort. There are apps on the market that you can use to read things like that. There is an app out there called Knfb Reader. It's released by NFB, National Federation for the Blind, and unfortunately, though, that cost $100. It's a very good app, but it's a lot of money to spend for some people. I realize that. And luckily, though, it's only a one-time purchase, and it does do a good job with scanning documents in short text. However, there are less expensive items on the market. There are a couple of apps that actually do use sighted assistance in order to help you read whatever it is you're trying to read. The two most notable of those is Be My Eyes and Ira. Now, I believe the difference between the two apps is that one actually has agents that are trained to respond to calls for help from blind people who need something read to them. And I think one is just random volunteers, but I can't remember which is which. I've used both of them before, and they're okay. I mean, the people who are helping to read the information are very good. There are a couple of them out there who can be kind of creepy sometimes, so you just have to be careful about what you say and, being sensible about not giving out personal information. But other than that, they do a really good job of volunteering to read materials and documents and stuff. It's not just materials that they can help you with, though. For example, if you have lost something and you know the general area of where it is, you can actually ring up someone on Ira or Be My Eyes, and you can scan with the camera and they can tell you, oh yes, that's on the top shelf, and they will point you to exactly where it is. So it's not just printed materials. They can help you out with a number of different things. However, as I was mentioning earlier, there are apps out there on the market that can actually be used to read things to you, and some of those are free. One such app has gained a lot of notoriety over the course of its time that it has been developed, and it is called Seeing AI. Now, this app is really, really good because it has different modes of different types of things that it can identify. And I actually have it on my phone with me today, so I'm going to show it off. I'm going to turn up my microphone a bit so that you can hear exactly what is being announced by my phone. And I'm going to show off this app. So let me turn my phone up.
Productivity folder.
So
7 apps.
hopefully it's loud enough
items.
to where you guys can hear it. I apologize if it's too loud.
Photo and video folder. 7 apps.
Open Seeing AI.
Seeing AI. Menu.
Okay, so what we've got here is we have a menu button here, which let's check out the menu first.
Close. Button. Browse photos.
Okay,
Button.
browse photos. That's if you have a photo of something and you want Seeing AI to be able to recognize what's in the photo. And it's kind of early because that's still in its beta testing stage, but it's definitely in the works.
Help. Button.
Okay, there's a help button here.
Feedback. Button.
Feedback.
Settings. Button.
Settings.
About.
And
Button.
about.
About. Button.
So that's all for the menu.
Settings.
So let's get out of
Browse.
here.
Close. Button. Close. Menu. Quick help. Button.
Okay, that's a quick help if you're stuck in any of the modes and don't know what to do. And then we have...
Recognizing English. Button.
Okay, that's the language that it's recognizing. It supports a wide variety of languages. I believe it has Spanish, German, Portuguese. I know there's quite a few of them, so chances are it reads in a language that you can understand.
Channel. Short text.
Okay, and then the modes. So so by default, when you open this app, it's going to be focused on short text. So let's check out the different modes that we've got.
Document.
Document. That's if you have a printed page or a document, obviously.
Product.
Product. That's if you actually that's if you want to go out to a store and you pick something up off the shelf and it's like, oh, okay, I have no idea what this is, then you can actually set this to scan for the barcode of the product. So that's what that does.
Person.
That's if you want it to look at a person and tell about how old they are.
Currency.
Currency. So that identifies money, obviously.
Scene. Preview.
Okay, so a lot of these, you will hear the word preview after a lot of these. That means that they are still in their beta testing stages and they're still being developed. So for the scene one, you can basically pan your camera around the room, and what it will do is it will try to describe to you what is in the room. And again, it requires a little more development than the other modes simply because, you kind of have to know which way to turn your camera to center on things. And it doesn't update automatically, but I'm sure that's in the works as far as updating the scene whenever the camera detects a new thing. So it's still a work in progress, but it looks very promising.
Color. Preview. Brown.
Okay, color, that's to tell different colors.
Handwriting. Preview.
Handwriting, that's if you want to read a handwritten note that someone has.
Light.
And light. That low tone that you're hearing is basically the, I guess it's because it's detecting, I'm kind of in a room where the blinds are closed, but there's still light coming in. So you just heard the tone go down. That means there's a little less light than there was before. And then I moved the camera and it went back up. So lots of, so that's very interesting.
Channel. Adjustable. Light.
Okay, so that's the last mode. So let's go back to short text.
Handwrite. Color. Current. First product. Document. Short text.
So I've got it on short text now, and let's suppose my computer decides to die, which has happened to me before, where my screen reader will freeze and I have no idea what's on the screen. So I'm going to have my computer try to figure out what exactly is on my computer screen. So it might take me some trial and error because I can't see where I'm pointing the camera, so I kind of have to move it around a little bit and adjust the angle. Oh.
No objects inside. Running applications toolbar.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize my screen is touch sensitive, so let me try to move the camera a bit. again, it kind of takes some trial and error.
H-Match project.
What?
File Explorer 1 running window button submenu.
SRO.
Oh, okay, it's looking at the... Okay, I guess I need to adjust the camera a bit more. Because it's having trouble. That's the only problem with
List
this.
Microsoft Edge button.
It's,
Videos window. Ops 20.
It's trying to detect the, It's trying to detect what's on the screen, but sometimes you have to adjust the camera, and it's not always easy when you can't see what you're pointing at. So...
Running app. Start virtual camera checkbox not checked.
Come on. Also, it could have something to do with the lighting in here.
Microsoft Edge button.
Yeah, it's not wanting to do. Maybe if I pull the screen up a little bit and then try adjusting the camera. Okay, it's not wanting to do for some reason. But I have used this to read my computer screen before, and it's very good at, at giving you an idea, at least, of what is on the screen when it works. You can also use it to read documents and stuff, so if you have a letter or a piece of mail that you want to read, you can do that.
So, HP Pavilion. Powerful laptop. Thin and light design. Nagati.
Oh, well, I pointed it at something.
Subscription. 8th generation. HD touch. Narrow bezel. Agati.
Oh, it's reading the... Okay. That, what it was just reading is actually the label on the, on top of the, I guess it's the manufacturing sticker that's on the laptop. So it actually did read something, after all, on the computer. So that's good. That's what we wanted. So I'm going to close this for now.
Productivity folder.
And now what I'm going to do is, I actually have a mystery can up here. I don't know what's in it because I didn't look before the show started. I just grabbed a random can, and I have no idea what's in it. So I have a device here that is going to tell me exactly what is in this can. Not only that, but it's going to give me a ton of information once I scan it. This device is made by the company Envision America, but unfortunately that company is shutting down because they don't have all of the parts that they need in order to keep repairing the products that they make. They are responsible for the ones who make Script Talk, and they have also made the ID Galaxy. But the model that I have is a slightly older version, and it is the ID Mate Quest. It is a very powerful barcode scanner. I use this all the time in my kitchen whenever I cook things. So it is a really, really good device to have around if you're a blind person. I really wish the company wasn't shutting down. I mean, I understand why they are, but I don't like why they had to shut down, because these devices are really, really, really good. When you can't use your phone or it's just not working when you try to use it on your phone. So I have this device with me, and if you guys want me to do a more in-depth review of this device, I can definitely do that. Just let me know in the feedback if you want me to. But I have an ID Mate Quest with me, and I have my mystery can. So I'm going to turn it on real quick, and I'm going to turn up the volume so that you guys can hopefully hear it through the microphone. This device is really, really helpful, and it has a bunch of different things that it can do. So you hear it beeping now. And it's trying to come on. I've got the volume up, so hopefully you guys can hear.
ID Mate Quest. 8 GB card. Battery 94%.
Okay.
ID mode.
So you heard it say ID mode and beep. So now it's scanning for a barcode. So I'm going to wave it over my mystery can here.
Product MRS for Nels Brunswick stew.
Okay.
With chicken.
Okay, so it came up with that. So
Continued.
let's scroll down. Oh, that other beep means it's connected to the Wi-Fi. Let's scroll down and see what other information it gives us, because it's going to give us a ton of information.
Package size 20 ounce, 1 pounds 4 ounce.
Okay.
566 G. Product description: since 1930, original Hope Farm recipe. All natural, minimally processed, no artificial ingredients. Inspected for wholesomeness by U.S. Department of Agriculture, MRS. Fernell's secret recipe, crafted with choice ingredients from Lily Pearl. Fernell's secret recipe from the 1930s. This hearty and delicious Brunswick stew is loaded with tender vegetables and select kinds of chicken. www.boonabrince.com.
Okay.
BPA-free lining. Please recycle. Steel. Made in the USA.
Okay. Very nice.
Instructions. Just add rice. Most families enjoy MRS. Fernell's in a bowl, accompanied by cornbread or biscuits, or adopt cooked rice for a new twist on an old favorite. Just heat and serve.
That sounds like my language. That sounds about right for me.
Ingredients: tomatoes, tomato puree, salt, citric acid, chicken stock, water, chicken skin, chicken broth, potatoes, chicken, corn, carrots, lima beans, sugar, salt, dehydrated onion, parsley, black pepper.
So lots of chicken. I have a feeling there's another secret ingredient in there, because it did say in this description secret recipe, and it wouldn't be a secret if all the ingredients were listed. So I don't know, just my thoughts, but anyway, I'm sure it's delicious.
Serving size 1 cup.
Okay, 1 cup.
Servings per container 2.5.
Okay.
Calories per serving 180.
Okay.
Fat calories per serving 45. Total fat per serving 5 gram. Cholesterol per serving 20 milligram. Sodium per serving 700 milligram.
Holy moly.
Carbohydrates per serving 25 gram.
Okay.
Fiber per serving 3 gram. Sugar per serving 5 gram. Protein per serving 9 gram. Manufacturer Boone Brands. Manufacturer's address:
Okay.
P.O. Box 447, Sanford, North Carolina 27331 0447. Product MRS.
Okay, so that's all for
Brunswick
that.
stew with chicken.
So that's a lot of information to get just by scanning one barcode. And it's funny, but...
Press the power button again to power down. Powering down.
And it's kind of funny because there are some people who might not think of using the barcode as a means of getting information. A lot of people only see it as the code that store workers use to ring up the item. And while that is true, as you've just seen, it can give us a ton of information just by scanning the barcode. And it's really, really, really nice. I love having this device around. And I will probably use it until either something happens to it or it breaks, which hopefully is nowhere in the near future, because I love this device. So lots of options out there for reading different sources of printed materials. If you guys can think of anything that I have not covered on how to read those sorts of things, please let me know. I know one of the things that I had forgotten to mention earlier was a product that is made by Freedom Scientific. It is called the Pearl Scanner. It's either made by Freedom Scientific or APH, but I believe it's Freedom Scientific. And what that is it basically, it's a little scanner, it's a little camera that comes on a stand that can be adjusted, and you can line up a document or a book with it, and it will actually use a program on a computer to scan it. The only bad thing, though, is that the only way this result is going to work is if you pay for the program on your computer called OpenBook, and that is also made by Freedom Scientific. So it's a good solution if you have OpenBook and that sort of thing for the Windows computer, but it doesn't really work on a whole lot of other devices. So as a result, that sort of makes it a less portable solution than, say, using your cell phone or the device that I just showed you. So there are pros and cons to each one. For example, the cell phone camera might not be able to get an accurate reading on what it is, simply because, with blind people, we can't really see where we're pointing the camera, so it sort of takes patience, trial and error. So there are throwbacks to each one. It all depends on what you're trying to read and what tools you have at your disposal. But the point is that there are a whole lot of options out there to read things that you might not be able to read otherwise. So I really hope that you have found this episode informative today. I post content like this every week, or I will be rather. I know I haven't done it in a while, but I'm bringing it back, so I will be better about posting an episode every week. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I am Voyager2264 on Twitter. Also, we just put up a new Facebook page for Bringing Light to Blindness. Feel free to check it out. I haven't really posted much on there yet because I'm so new at figuring out Facebook pages, and I just restarted the podcast. So there won't be much posted for a while, but I hope that in the future I can add new things or post when there's a new episode out, that sort of thing. Feel free to check it out. I also have a YouTube channel where the primary focus is audio games. I do have additional content up there, but mostly I focus on video games. Feel free to check it out. And don't forget to submit feedback about any comments or questions that you have about anything pertaining to what we talk about in any of our episodes. If there's something in particular that you want to see me discuss in a future episode, please let me know, and I will definitely put it on the agenda. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a fantastic weekend and a great first part of next week. And I will see you guys again next Friday. Until then, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.
Videos window. Items view. Studio mode. Start virtual cam. Stop recording.